What inspired you to start playing hockey?
Yeah, I kind of have a hockey background in my family. Both my uncles played professional hockey, and so my dad kind of threw me into it right away when, every kid at this level probably started around 4 or 5, and I've been in love with the game ever since.
What's your favorite part about hockey?
Uh, I would say winning. Winning's pretty
Yeah.
fun, but no, like just meeting the people along the way. That's always fun too. People from all over the place, and it's a long journey, and you're gonna meet tons of people, right? So, just their stories, and yeah, I've met lifelong friends, and it's been awesome.
This is a Kobe Bryant question, but do you like winning more or hate losing?
Probably, I like winning more because at least you learn something from losing, right? Uh, yeah, winning's fun. I mean, I did it last year, and it's the best time I've ever had. So, yeah,
So one of my questions, take me through that championship run.
yeah. I mean, it was pretty crazy. I mean, after we traded for Savoy, it kind of just felt like we really weren't gonna lose a game. He came in and uh, I remember his first game. I think he had like 4 or 5 points, and I'm like, dude, this guy's insane. And I'm like, we're not losing. And it kind of just felt like a year where it's just like going into every game, we're like, we're just gonna win this game, and it's just no one can stop us. Like I remember, I remember last year, like me and a couple of guys, you would play fucking freaking Fortnite before, like 6 hours before a game.
Yeah.
And we would go show up that night and win by 5 or 6. It was just like it was a surreal feeling, and that whole playoff run, and uh, yeah, I mean, we started off with Brandon, and we beat them. Same with Swift Current. That was a little bit more intense series because we dropped the first game, I think, like 7-1. I'm like, oh no, we're in one, and then we ended up reverse sweeping, and then that Saskatoon series was just ridiculous. I couldn't really sleep at night. Like, yeah, the stress was another level, but you know, obviously you scored 2 big goals, and yeah, that was another unbelievable feeling. And then we go on to Portland, and yeah, we beat them in 4. So that whole experience was awesome.
Who were your hockey idols growing up?
I would have to say my uncle Sasha being one of them.
Nice.
Um, he's a different type of player than I was. He was more of a fighter, but he worked hard to get where he was, and so I look at him and look up to him, sorry, in that sort of way. And then being, my dad being a Canucks fan and Vancouver only being a couple hours from Kelowna, he was a big Sedin's fan, and I kind of grew up watching those guys, and I would say those are my favorite players growing up.
Hockey, Mount Rushmore, your top four players. If
My
you could.
top 4 players, hockey Rushmore. Uh, you got to put Gretter up there. You
Yeah.
just have to. I think you got to put Sid up there. Um, I would say Gordie Howe. I mean, yeah, and then I would say Bobby Orr. I'd say Bobby Orr. I was debating between him and Mario Lemieux, but Orr, he kind of changed the game as a defenseman in a way. So I would say him.
Yeah. Recently, I've been getting a lot of Gordie Howe and Bobby Orr. I
Yeah,
think Roger McQueen was the last one that said those two as well. So, I mean, you guys know puck.
yeah,
Gordie Howe played till he was 55, so I mean,
yeah.
pretty good.
It's not bad.
Could you imagine playing till 55?
I couldn't imagine. Like, I don't think my body could take all that. I mean, my body was bagged after a freaking 17 or a 7 game series, sorry, against the Saskatoon Blades. I don't know if I can play for 55.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
In your opinion, who's the best player in the NHL under 23?
Under 23, I would say Jack Hughes or Macklin Celebrini. Yeah.
I'm getting a lot of Macklin celebrating recently. I thought it was going to
Yeah.
be more Connor Bedard, but
Yeah.
I'm seeing people pick Celebrini more. So I
I
think it's
mean,
been
like
Celebrini every time, except for one.
Bedard's unbelievable, but I think I don't know, but there's a lot of people like, or I think there's like a sophomore slump. Like you've seen it with Bedard and you've seen it with like Matty Beniers, for example, and like a couple other guys, right? Like they always do unbelievable the rookie season, and then their second year, kind of like the pace kind of slows down, right? So hopefully that doesn't happen with Celebrini, but I also think Celebrini is just more of a complete all around player, right? And it's showing. So
I think of Celebrini as more like a fourth liner playing a fourth line mentality playing first line, which is kind of unbelievable. You don't really see that, so
yeah,
good call on that.
yeah.
So here's like a fun one. Your favorite karaoke song to sing and guilty pleasure song to sing at home, like in the car or shower, something you jam out to.
Lately I've been listening to a lot of her name's Gracie Abrams. I've been listening to a lot of her. That's So True, probably by Gracie Abrams.
Or so I'll have to check her out.
Yeah,
It's a good name drop.
yeah.
What's your proudest moment on the ice so far?
I would probably say my individually proudest moment would be scoring those overtime goals against
Mhm.
Saskatoon to helping our team win the championship. And then yeah, that just winning the championship first time ever. It's pretty special.
So sick.
Yeah.
So cool. Chess or checkers?
Chess.
Okay. Do you play chess a lot?
I did. I did. I've never really gotten into checkers, but
Mhm.
like growing up, I always played chess. I stopped playing like maybe a year or two ago, but I was really into chess.
Chess. I play at chess.com.
Yeah.
I ask every prospect that, but I'm a big chess guy. I used to
Yeah.
play when I was a kid. What's your
Yeah.
favorite childhood game?
Childhood game would have to be Minecraft.
Minecraft. Nice.
I
Nice.
still play I still play Minecraft to this day, so yeah, it's pretty fun.
Just bought Minecraft for $20 like a week ago to play with my friends
Yeah,
because I used to play, but then I changed to PlayStation.
right.
Do you play Fortnite?
I do
Mhm.
occasionally like no, I won't play it like on the regular, but
Yeah.
some nights our whole team will get on and we'll all play together in like a creative game or something, and that'll be fun.
You OG or build or
I'm an OG. I started
yeah.
playing it was season end of season 2. It was
I'm the
chapter
same
1.
way.
Yeah,
You have the John Wick skin?
I do.
Nice.
I do. Yeah, it was my
Where
first
you
battle pass, so
same,
yeah.
same. Other than you being an NHL prospect, we're the exact same, I guess. Um, where would you land
What do
in
you mean?
Fortnite?
Oh, in
Sorry.
Fortnite, like OG.
Mhm.
I was a big Pleasant guy. I liked Doghouse, but I always wouldn't get there first sometimes, and normally you're just sent back to the lobby if you don't get to that chest first. But yeah, I'd say Pleasant. I was too scared of Tilted unless I was playing with some good players. So, yeah.
Can you walk us through your daily routine during the season?
Yeah. So, we got to be at the rink at 10 in the morning. So I'll normally get there a little bit early. I'll get there at, 9:30 and I'll kind of stretch and, get warmed up for the day. And then I'll get a workout in and then, we'll skate for about an hour, do some video. And then, so I'm at the rink basically from 9:30 till probably 1:30 after practice, kind of cool down, hang out a little bit. And then normally just maybe go out, grab some food with the guys. And then yeah, you're kind of home for the day, preferably either take a nap or, recently I was watching Game of Thrones. So that was good. I just finished that a little while ago, but I was watching that and then yeah, that's kind of my day.
Favorite TV show of all time?
Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Yeah, by far. Either Game of Thrones or Breaking Bad, but I really enjoyed the Game of Thrones series.
Have you seen Better Call Saul?
I've watched little parts, but I couldn't fully get into it. Like I
Mhm.
watched a couple episodes, and I wasn't super intrigued, but I enjoyed Breaking Bad a lot.
How has your game evolved since joining the WHL?
Yeah, I think it's evolved a ton. When I first came into the league, I was kind of like every other skilled forward that first comes into junior hockey who kind of just wants to dangle everyone and go for the highlight reel goal. And you weren't too focused on the defensive part of the game or your 200-foot game. And when I came in the dub, I was kind of like that. And just growing up and maturing and being around players that are going on to the next level and playing pro hockey, you kind of realize and mature a little bit and know that you have to grow that 200-foot game if you want to play in the NHL, right? And I don't think there's a single player in the NHL who is unbelievable offensively, but who's awful defensively, unless you are that 130-point guy a year, right? And yeah, so that's kind of how my game's evolved, and I think my 200-foot game has been the biggest part of that.
What would you rather score, a Michigan or a Degler for three difference?
A Michigan or dangle through three players.
Yep.
Uh, I would probably say a Michigan. Yeah,
Or scored a Michigan.
I haven't. I haven't, so that's why I said it.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah,
Did you build your perfect forward? Hockey IQ, skating, shot, and physicality?
yeah. So skating, I would have to go McDavid for obvious answers. You could argue McKinnon, but I'm gonna go with McDavid. Hockey IQ, I'll go with Crosby. And then shot, I mean, as of right now, I'll take Matthews. I would argue Ovi, but I would take Matthews now over Ovi now.
Yeah,
And what
I
was the
agree
other
with
one?
that.
Sorry.
And physicality.
Physicality, I'll go with Brady Kachuk.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
That's a really good answer, honestly.
yeah.
If you could take one skill from any NHL player, past or present, who would it be and why?
I would say uh that's a good one. I'm gonna go with Prime Ovi's shot. I'll go with Prime Ovi's shot. Yeah,
The elite.
yeah.
One skill you're currently working on to improve.
Uh, I would just say consistency winning puck
Mhm.
battles. That's a big skill if you want to, play more minutes in the NHL story. And when you kind of look at my game, you see all the actual skill there, like the stick handling, shooting, and the skating. But uh, maybe the puck battles is something that I lack a little bit, and it's improving. But yeah, that's something that I've been trying to work on for a little while now.
What advice would you give to younger players looking to make it to the WHL and NHL?
Yeah, I just say, just work to get 1% better every day. That's kind of the motto I lived by for a long time and still do. It doesn't matter really where you get drafted and whatnot. It's just the opportunity, and if you're willing to work, you can create that opportunity for yourself, and good things will come to people who wait, and I'll be worth it in the end.
What are your hobbies outside of hockey?
Uh, in the summertime, I enjoy golfing.
Mhm.
Uh, where I live in Kelowna, there's a lot of nice golf courses, it's nice weather. So I don't know too many hockey players who don't like golfing in the summer, but yeah, that's definitely a summertime hobby. And then during the season, I would probably say just sleeping. Honestly, I enjoy that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What's your favorite NHL team and your or childhood favorite team, and what was the first jersey you owned?
Ooh, my growing up, my favorite team was the Canucks. Um, and I believe that was my first jersey I owned. It was either a Canucks jersey or like a Team Canada Olympic jersey. It was one or the other, but I believe it was the Canucks jersey.
You remember what player?
Sedins. They were kind of the players at the time for when I was growing up, and they were going on their playoff runs with them, and yeah, those guys.
When kids are playing in the driveway practicing hockey, what would you want them to say about you? Like when you play basketball, someone says Kobe or Steph, do you have like a catchphrase or
Ooh, I don't know. Maybe if they went bar down or something, they would say something about me, hopefully. But I'm not sure. That's a good one.
do you see yourself more as a GM or a coach if um like after you retire in the NHL, if you ever wanted to do that?
Yeah, I would see myself more as a GM.
Nice.
I think that part of it's busy, but I feel like it would be fun. A little bit more pressure than the coach, I think, but yeah, I would enjoy it a lot.
Who would you want to manage? Like
Like
which
what
team?
team? If I were to manage a team right now, I would like to manage Toronto.
What would you do with the core four man of their roster?
What would I do?
Yeah, yeah, you have the keys to the whole organization.
I would uh I would probably trade Tavares.
Nice.
That's what I would do. I think I would trade Tavares. I think he's obviously still a great player. But what in my opinion, like what they're paying him and like the level he's producing at, like I don't even know his contract, but I think it's around 9 or 10 million, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, I think I would move him, get some cap space, and maybe get a goalie or maybe a middle six guy or maybe a D man, someone who could fill in a key role going into playoffs or something like that.
What would it mean to you to hear your name called on draft?
Yeah, I mean, it would mean the world. I mean, everyone this year going in the draft, they've been waiting for this moment their entire lives, right? You've been working at it, and yeah, it's definitely something you think about every day, and you've been dreaming of it, so it'd mean the world to me and my family.
Do you have a plan, game plan for draft day?
I don't yet. I don't know what's going on with the draft this year. Sorry, it's kind of different. Like I know it's in LA, but from what I know management isn't going, just players and staff. So
Mhm.
until or if I get an invite to the draft, I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing.
Do you envisioned your first NHL game, the lap helmet on or off?
Uh I would do it with a helmet on, but I think this day and age, I don't think you really get a choice anymore. I think they just take the helmet from you.
Yeah,
So it'd be
interesting.
helmet off, and I haven't really imagined it yet, just because I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on right now, and uh, but now that you say that, I think it'd be a pretty special moment.
If you did win the Stanley Cup, what would you do with the cup? What would your day look like?
Oh wow! Uh, I'd wake up and eat or drink some sort of food or liquid out of that thing. I don't know what, but I would, and then I'd probably take it golfing for sure.
Nice.
Try a couple chip shots into that thing, and then oh wow, honestly, I'd probably take it to like the rink I grew up playing in later after that, and then I'd probably party after with it. I'll just being honest.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I've heard golfing once. They would put the golf balls in there, just
yeah,
carry it around like that. But
yeah.
chipping shots in there would be awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
How do you stay focused and not get distracted by the draft buzz?
Yeah, it's definitely hard, but you as much as people tell you, kind of just have to stay off social media, right? Without social media, how are you supposed to know what's kind of going on, right? And yeah, just trying to block out all the outside noise, and it definitely is challenging, right? And but the more you do it, the more it helps you focus and stay dialed, and you stay on the right track.
Like, what's your perfect 5-year plan going into the NHL or going into the league? What do you think?
Yeah, my like ideal perfect 5-year plan, I would be playing in the NHL and in a top six role on whatever team that drafts me, right? And yeah, that's kind of my ideal plan, and hopefully get a chance to win a cup.
What is an NHL team getting with Lynden Lakovic?
Yeah, they're getting a passionate, big, skilled forward who he can skate, and he's a good hockey IQ, and he plays with a lot of pace, and he's going to show up to the rink every day with passion and positivity, and a good mindset to put in the work, and kind of be a good teammate, and push the pace in practice. And no, I think that's kind of what I do every day here, and there's no reason why that should change somewhere else.
Something people might not know about you that your teammates do.
I have really hairy legs. I get
That's
chirped for it constantly. Uh,
awesome.
yeah, my assistant coach constantly tells me how hairy and gross my legs are, and that's something only people in the locker room would kind of notice. So yeah,
You humble.
yeah,
That's funny that they chirp you about that. What's
yeah,
the funniest thing that you've ever been chirped about? Or is it that?
yeah. That would probably be that. I don't know. I just laugh every time.
Who's the goat of sports?
Go to sports.
Mhm.
Uh, I would say I think it's got to be Gretter. You could argue Michael Jordan, sorry. But if Gretzky never scored a goal in his career, he'd still be the all-time leading points leader. Like, I don't know how much better you can do that, but uh, yeah, he's my goat for sure.
LeBron or Jordan? I know you had Jordan, so probably Jordan. But
Yeah, I would say for me it's still Jordan, but like LeBron's, it's definitely a conversation you could have. Yeah,
let's say he wins the ring this year with Luca. What do you think? Does that put him over the top?
I mean 50,000 points, and I don't even know how many championships he has, but another
I know
chip.
if he won
Like
this
I
year.
think it would if he gets another chip before he retires. I think so.
I agree with you on that.
Yeah,
That's why I phrased it that way.
yeah,
Helps my agenda.
yeah.
Which teammate has influenced you the most?
I would say Braden Yeager. Uh,
Nice.
Me and him over the years, we've been getting closer and closer every year, and obviously and unfortunately he got traded this year, but he's been a big role model for me. Like I said earlier, when I came into the league, just building that 200-foot game. And I think Braden was the perfect example of that. And, he was the captain before myself. And, he just kind of taught me to just show up with a positive mindset every day, put in the work, and, just kind of worry about yourself, and, good things will come to you.
What was the biggest advice that he's given to you, or one of your teammates that has also been drafted given to you about the process?
Yeah. I mean, just have fun with it. At the end of the day, you're going to go when you go, right? And, if that's where you're supposed to go, or maybe a little bit later, or a little bit sooner, right? It's going to happen. And, if you get drafted 11th overall, it's no different than 19th, right? It's just an ego thing. So don't worry about that sort of stuff. And, yeah, whatever team picks you, it's going to be the best fit for you because they believe in you. And, yeah, that's kind of the advice him and other teammates that have been drafted through that have given me.
Can you take me through your NHL or your off-season routine? Sorry.
Yeah, so you typically work out every day and skate every other day. So, you're skating 3 or 4 times a week, and then you're in the gym 5 to 6 days a week, right? And That's kind of my routine. Wake up early in the morning, you go to the gym, you work out for 2 hours, go to the rink, skate for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and after that, you're probably at the golf course hitting golf balls if you're not already bagged enough. And yeah, that's kind of my day, honestly.
What's another sport that you would want to play professionally if you never played hockey?
Golf, no question. Or if I was
Okay.
really good at football, football.
What position in football?
I would love to be a cornerback.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you typically
Corner
people would say wide receiver or quarterback. I would love to be corner.
corner is the hardest position in the NFL, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so too.
What's your favorite football team?
The Lions.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Detroit Lions.
I'm a Bears fan, so we just got Ben Johnson, and I'm very excited about
Yeah,
I think he's gonna cook with Campbell, but
he probably should.
the Lions, they've been very good recently.
Yeah.
I keep getting Packers fans, and I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, Logan Hetzer is a Packers fan. There's a lot of
Ugh.
I love your reaction to that. I don't want to keep you, so there's only a couple more because you've been so gracious with your time, and
Thank
I've loved our conversation, so thank you.
you.
Um, what's one thing, what's one message you'd love to give to your fans and supporters?
Yeah. I appreciate the support you've given me throughout the years, to the fans and especially to my family. They've been my biggest supporters, and there's been some tough days and some great days, right? And they've stuck with me through the thick and thin, and it's only getting started.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Um, and I saw on Twitter, or I call it Twitter. I'm never
yeah,
going to call it X, but you were helping out the kids on ice, and there was like a little video of that. Can
yeah,
you take me through that day? And you looked you looked like you were just having a great time, but there was good video of that. So can you take me through that day?
yeah. We do a lot of minor hockey practices here, where we go out and we run drills for the kids and kind of just mingle and have a good time, right? And that stuff means a lot to them, right? And when I was growing up, my local junior team would do the exact same thing, right? And I always looked up to them and thought they were kind of superheroes, really. And that's kind of what kids in our community look up to me and my teammates as. And that day, and it was really awesome.
I loved that video. I showed it to
Yeah.
my family. They were like, "Oh, he's a cool." If you can relive one hockey moment in your career, what would it be?
um I would say the last 30 seconds of game 4 against Portland in Moose Jaw. Kind of just sitting on the bench, you're up by 2 goals, everyone standing room only, it's the entire, there's not a seat available. You got people standing everywhere watching you guys win, and everyone's on their feet cheering as loud as they can. And you kind of just look around and kind of reminisce, and throwing the gloves up, that was something special, and I'll never forget that.
What was your best interview of all time in your
My
opinion? When you were like on, you were hot, you were in your bag that day.
my best interview of all time. Ooh. Uh oh my gosh, that's hard. I don't know. Can you come back to me?
How do you unwind after a tough game?
How do I wind down after a tough game? Sorry.
Yeah,
Uh
like unwind.
yeah, you kind of you especially in a year like this where we're not winning a whole lot of games, and there are going to be some tough games for sure. You got to be able to flip the page easily, and I think that's the biggest thing as becoming a pro athlete and being a pro athlete is you're going to have tough games, and you just got to be able to just forget about it, right? And that's what I'll kind of do. And typically, I hate watching those games, but those are the games that are going to make you better, right? And uh, yeah, you kind of just got to flip the page and forget about it, and maybe go out for dinner and kind of talk to a couple of the guys that you're close with about it, and when you wake up in the morning the next day, you just forget about it.
If you could play in an outdoor game anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Anyway, that would be
Green
awesome.
Monster.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. That'd be
Yeah.
cool. Is there anything you want to plug right now or just talk about that you haven't been asked? Any questions that you wish you were asked in an interview?
No, I think I'm good. I think, yeah, you gave me a lot of good questions, and no, I liked our time today.
Thank you so much for joining Draft Bros today. Lynden, this has been absolutely awesome just to learn more about you and who you are. And I hope you the best over the course of the season and the NHL draft process because I know it's probably hectic and
Yeah. Thank you.
wild year. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Anthony. I appreciate it, and I enjoyed talking to you today. It was great meeting you, and yeah, you take care.